The thing I wanted to talk about was that we were approached a few months ago by a guy who lives out of Lake Michigan who bought a property out on Hancock Road. It's the old log house by Lehman's on Hancock Road. And what he wants to do is that he wants to build a house on the site, and he doesn't want to have the house. And so the house was built in 1854. It's a wonderful old log. I had ran off a whole bunch of copies. I couldn't pass them around. The chaos left me behind. But anyway, so Ron, we've had deeds out there. Deeds said it is movable, right?
That's right.
And so what basically, he offered it to the Historical Society. And as I look at Helen Fink, we can understand perhaps why the Historical Society is not going to get that involved in the Meinhardt house kind of thing. No, meaning that Helen's done a wonderful job in the Meinhardt house. So what we're looking for is we're looking for an angel who basically wants to buy a log house for $1. And then you have the responsibility of moving it. And then also he said that
$11,000 to $12,000 would take it off the foundation and move it across the street or maybe within 2 or 3 miles.
did you all hear that?
So it's about
No, how much?
Okay, he said it'd be $11,000 to $12,000 to move it across the street or in the near vicinity of basically Lehman's and Hancock Road. And so I don't have the exact address, but it was owned by the Block family, which was, they were summer residents down in San Juan. And they referred to it as Bonnie Acres. And they added a second floor. And it's just curious because I was doing some research on the Ferry family. And when Reverend William Montague Ferry built the house, his log house in Grand Haven, it looked exactly like this, the same dimensions almost. This had a porch, or rather a second floor added on later on. And so I think probably the Historical Society's involvement, maybe we should have a committee, who wants to be on the committee kind of thing, is that we should encourage anyone who wants to buy this for $1 to do that, save the property, and that the Historical Society doesn't have the depth nor the funds, I think, nor the energy to be involved in the building as a restoration project. But certainly we must know somebody, of all the people in this room, we must know somebody who lives within a mile or two of this building, because it's out there. It's in Montague Township. Lamis's road is then into White River Township. And it's a wonderful old building. I'd encourage, it's occupied. It's occupied by former school teacher Gilman. She lives down.
Joy Mitchell lives there.
Pardon?
Joy Mitchell lives there.
Say it again.
Joy Mitchell.
Joy Mitchell.
She's a Gillen.
Right, she's a Gilman, and she lives there, and so it's occupied. So I mean, what we'll end up probably doing is that if there's enough energy, we'll end up maybe talking to Greg. Maybe he can do an article in the Beacon. We can run an ad saying you can buy a log building for $1. Who wants it would have the blessing of the Historical Society. But it's a wonderful old building. So like drive by, take a look. It's interesting. Margot?
The important thing, I think, is that the owner will get rid of it in a year, that is next summer, if we don't do something about it, and it will be gone. So this has to happen fairly quickly.
So it's a wonderful old building, and if you have any questions, or would anybody like to head up a committee on Save the Bonnie Acre building? I know we're well by the hands.
I can't head up a committee, but I would like to be involved in it.
Right.
I would like to help in some way. I don't think I have time to spearhead it, but I think it's very important. When you say the Historical Society backs this project, what do you mean?
Well, I actually, quite frankly, the board hasn't discussed it